Okay, here we go. So in Canvas, let's log in. So so wow, it's already lesson 8. Where's this like midterm time, isn't it? Whoosh. Anybody have midterm exams? Maybe, I don't know. We just have quizzes. Remember, there's 3 quizzes, so they're scattered throughout. It's not really a midterm, right? Because it's scattered. So when is our next quiz? Not next week, but the week after. Okay, the week of November 5th. Okay, so the date will be on November. It says November 8th, I guess that's whatever Thursday that is that week is when we do our quiz 2. Okay, whatever Thursday of the week of November 5th. I guess it is November 8th. I guess that's what it is. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It should tell you when the quiz is. The Canvas tells you that stuff, don't they? November 8th. Comedy training? Are you going to be a stand-up comic? Oh, company training. I thought you said I thought you was going for stand-up comedian. That's what I would like to do. Yeah. Okay, so remember the exam, or exam 2 or quiz 2 is on November 8th. If you can't make it, you can do it online. Okay, you can do it online. We'll pick a day. No stress. Okay, so let's get to this week. Again, this week. Here's a video about the software. Remember last week we talked about software and we talked about the internet and stuff like that. There's a video. You can go and watch it all over right there. See it right there? There's a video. Right? So there's a video review of internet and software. Remember we talked about, let's do some review from last week. What was the free audio software? Audacity, right? Remember that? Yeah. What was a free version of Photoshop? GIMP. GIMP. GIMP.org. GIMP is organization. And what's a free 3D program? What do you make your margaritas in? A blender, right? So the free 3D program is called Blender. Yeah.
So just as a side, Autodesk will give students a free 3-year license to Fusion 360. So if you go make an Autodesk account and tell them you're a student, you can have rights to that for 3 years.
Yep. So Autodesk, thank you for pointing that out. Autodesk has a lot of free 3D programs that they offer, a lot of discounts, I guess, as well. I don't know, mostly free. I know the Maya students, we teach Maya and the arts animation. I believe they offer free software as well.
Yeah. Well, they used to have 123 Design, but they discontinued it and replaced it with a web-based version, which I don't like it. But the Fusion 360 is like really good, like $700 program for free.
Any other 3D program that's kind of interesting, that's kind of free is SketchUp, right? Anybody heard of SketchUp? Remember I showed you the sample of the building that I made in animation, right? Okay, so, you know, there's a lot of cool free software out there that you can use. Take advantage of that. And download and try some of that stuff. You might like it. It might become a career for you, right? Could be. I don't know. Try it. You might like it.
Windows 10 comes with a 3D builder.
I don't know. Windows 10 has a 3D program?
Yep.
I don't have Windows 10. I guess I should go to the Windows platform. I don't know. I have Windows 7 still. Yeah. Yes, okay. So, you know, you have that. So, again, there's a video right here you can watch of that. This is just a link I thought was interesting. It's kind of older reading, but it's just about Google products. Remember the new Google phone is coming out right now. They just released it, the Pixel 2, I think it is, or Pixel something. I don't know. My sister-in-law has one of those Pixel phones, and I don't know. She's always cutting out on me. She's blaming me on my phone. I'm like, it's not my phone, it's your phone. You have friends like that, right? It's not my phone, it's your phone, right? I don't know. She has the Pixel one. I don't know if I really like it. But they got the Google. It talks about the Google Home, right? There's a Google Home. And what else does Google make? The Nest, right? They make the Nest. So they're really getting into Google hardware that you don't really know too much about. Again, it's under the Google, changing the products we use. Okay, so let's get in Excel. So there's some reading you can do if you would like. It's not really on the test or anything. You can just avoid it if you want. Today we're going to kind of just go through Excel a little bit. Here's some links to some of the things we're going to talk about. We'll talk about validation, and the term validation refers to that you are making sure that the data that the people are putting into the box is the correct data, right? You're validating it. Is it a number? Does it have a decimal? Is it a currency? You can validate and make sure. Is it a date, right? You don't want somebody putting in the wrong date. You can put a range of dates as well. You can say only 2018 can be put in this box, right? So validation is what we're going to do first and talk about that as far as it. And then we're going to do drop-down menus and then locking a sheet, right? So maybe you want to make something that people can't mess with, right? How to lock things and stuff like that. And there's a whole bunch of other things we'll talk about as well as we go along. Again, it's right here under validation information. So let's go here first. Let's watch the video and then we'll try some of it. Okay, so we're going to watch a video and then try some of it. Most of these are from a drop-down list. Right here you can see, what is a drop-down list? Well, it's a list that kind of has drop-down. You've probably seen it before. You click this cell and it gives you a choices, right? Gives you choices. So here, let's just play this real quick. Okay, so let's do that one. Again, what you saw was there was a list of cities and a list of people's names. So when you do the validation and you have the pull down list like that, you don't necessarily need to have it in the same sheet. It can be in a separate sheet. I think last week when we were doing the home loan, we had one sheet of information and then you had a separate sheet of information. So again, you can easily go and let's open up Excel. We're not going to follow, we're just going to make our own Excel today. Next class, we'll look at how to use the templates. I don't know how much we'll get into templates today, but there's a lot of already pre-made template things that we'll learn, especially if you're in real estate or something like that. There's a pre-made, all kinds of pre-made things as well. So let's just go with the blank workbook today. Yep, just go to Excel and open the blank one. Blank one. Remember, follow along because you're going to have to turn this in. This is your assignment for today. Let's get it over with. You don't have to do it again later. Excel, the big W at the bottom. Okay, so the first column, let's put in some people's names. So under A1, A2, remember you can make cells bigger or smaller. Do you notice how I put my cursor between the, look, see how they make them bigger or smaller? Bigger or smaller. Okay, so the first one, let's put a name in. Let's put in Bill Gates. Paul Allen, didn't he just die this weekend?
Oh, he just died, right?
Yeah, Paul Allen. Who else? Steve Jobs. Let's see, where else? Who else do we have? Tech World. Remember? Who's the guy who invented email? Ray Tomlinson, right? Tomlinson. I don't know how to spell it right. I think it's something like that. And then who invented? That was email. Who invented the World Wide Web? Yeah, who invented the Tim Berners-Lee, the HTML? Remember that? Tim B-E-R-N-E, Berners-Lee. That's something like that. I think that's it. And then one more. Let's do one more person. Let's do who did the TCP/IP. Remember that? TCP/IP. Robert Kahn, right? Robert Kahn and Vincent Cerf. We could just do one. There. Oops. K. Con. K. Is it K? Con? No. How do you spell it? Is it Khan? What was it? Khan? What? Kahn. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Very good. Thank you a lot. Okay, so that is great. It's wonderful, but we don't know, where all these people live. So we're going to make a pull-down menu. So to make a pull-down menu, I'm going to hit the plus button down here. See the little plus button right here? Okay, and we're going to make another sheet with the cities in it. So we have people right here. See the people right there? So I'm going to go down here. See a little plus where it says new sheet down there? In fact, let's change the name of the sheet. We'll call this people. And we'll hit the little plus right here is the new sheet at the bottom. It's a little plus. Yeah, click the plus. And then we're going to put in some cities. So we have Seattle. Let's see at ATT. Seattle. And then we have Palo Alto. Palo A-L-T-O. Palo Alto. Palo, P-A-L-O, Palo Alto, is that how you spell it? Doesn't matter. We'll just put in cities, San Francisco. Where else? Who else did we say? We did, Bill Gates was from Seattle. Oh, but we put San Jose, and then let's put some more in there. Let's put in, we need another city, Saratoga. There we go. That's enough. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to learn. It doesn't matter if the people are in the right city or not. So we have two sheets. We can call the sheet, instead of calling it sheet 2 down here, we can give it a name. We could call it cities. Like that. Cities. So we have people. We have cities. We have people, cities, people, cities, people, cities.
Rename it?
You right click where it says where it should say sheet 1 or sheet 2.
You could double click on it as well with two mouse clicks.
And just click rename.
Okay, so if you saw in the video, you saw how they did the validation, okay? So in the pull-down menu, that is. So we're not really doing validation yet. We're doing pull-down menu right now. We'll do validation in a moment when we do the date. So let's just say I wanted to have an extra sheet up here at the very top. Notice how I started in A1, but I don't have an extra cell or extra row across the top that I want to put in the names of I want to say people, city, date, and so on like that. So I don't have an area up here. So if I want to add a row to the top, so I can add some data up there, I can add a row. How we add a row is by clicking on a row. You can right click and you can insert. So I right clicked right here in the column where the 1 is. Do you see where the 1 is right here? I'm going to right click where the 1 is and I'm going to say insert, and it puts a row in there. See how it just puts a row on top? Now I can put in people. And I could put in, this is going to be city. And of course, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to have date. And let's just do that for right now. So again, did you see how I inserted a row? I right-clicked up here. And I said insert, and it automatically puts a row up there. See that? I'm going to undo that. But you saw me do that. You can also bold that if you want so it stands out a little bit, right? Maybe underline it. Boom. There we go. So we got people. We're going to have city, we're going to date. I'm going to move this over just a little bit so we have a little bit more space. Notice I put my cursor between the little lines and it gives you the arrows that point and go. Okay, so now we want to do a pull down menu. We want to do a pull down menu so that when the person's Bill Gates is going to choose Seattle, even though Microsoft headquarters is in Redmond, right? And in fact, he lives on an island out in Puget Sound somewhere, I think. So he probably doesn't even live in Seattle. I'm sure it's his own country, probably. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Let's just get the pull-down menu going. So does everybody have people? And then you have cities right here. People and cities. So to do the pull-down menu, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the cells that I want to do the pull-down menu in. So remember, I like the shift key. I know some people like to drag. To select the rows, I want all the ones that go down the city thing. So I'm going to select from this one right here, and I'm going to hold the shift key down and click the very last one right there. Did you see how I did that? Again, I used the shift key to select a selection of content. Now to do the pull down menu, you can go underneath the insert, where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. I've seen it before. Data, validation. Validation. We want to do any value. How did he do that in the thing? I was watching the video. Let me get back to the video. I can't remember now. There we go. There we go. Pull down menu. Probably drop down menu. Here we go. I have to look at the instructions again. I selected all those, okay, and go where? Data, validation, any value, list, that's it. And then choose the list. Okay, sorry, I forgot how to do it. There's the cities. Okay, so let's try again. Yeah, well, do you have your cell selected? You have them selected, right? Okay, here we go. Not yet. You're not doing cities. You have this selected first. The cell next to it, right? You have the cell selected. I use the shift key. We're going to go under data right here. See where it says data. Data right there. Then we're going to go to where it says data validation right here. See that? And we're going to say, yeah, data validation. And we change this to list right there. See where it says allow, list. And then we're going to click the little icon where it says source. And then we're going to go to the cities tab right here. See the cities tab? And we're going to click on our cities. Select them all right there. I'll do it again. Let me finish. And then I'm done here. And then I hit OK. Now you should be able to get this. I will do it again. Don't worry. Do it again. See that? Okay, so let me undo. And we'll start again. Here we go. Again, I'm going to select the cells next to this. See it right there? See how I select the cells? Right? I'm going to go to where it says data validation right there. See it? It's under data right here. Data. You don't see the data validation? It's green and red. Click on that. Go to data validation. Where it says allow. See where it says the word allow? Go to where it says list. See where it says list? List. Now, whenever you see this icon right here, see this icon right here? This is kind of like a selection icon. You can click on that icon and then go and select the stuff you want. Okay, so I'm going to click on this right here. See this little icon right here? I'm going to click on that. Watch how the menu kind of shrinks down. Watch this. You're going to click on this. The menu shrinks down. See how it shrunk down? Now you can go out here and select what you want. I'm going to go to my new tab. Remember, look, cities is down here. See, cities is right there. I'm going to click on cities. Cities. And then I'm going to draw a box over all my things. Now, I'm not doing the shift key this time. Now I'm dragging. I'm going to click on the first one and drag down. See how I selected all of them? I'm holding the shift key, not shift key, I'm sorry, the left mouse. And when you're done selecting, see the marching ants? We call those marching ants going around there. See how when you're all done, you just go back to this little menu. See how the arrow is pointing down the same sort of little area right here? And I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to hit OK. And then you go back, you'll notice now I have a pull-down menu. And you can click on each cell, and you can then have a pull-down menu that allows you to choose where the people live. See that? So see if you can do that. I'll pause for just a minute. Okay, so to do the date, we want to make sure that they put in the data for a specific date. Okay, so you can give it a range of dates, or you can validate by a specific year, any day within that specific year. So let's just say, you know, they're planning on going on a area. So we're gonna make it so that they have to put in the year 2017. We'll say. So if they put a date in that's different than the year 2017, it's going to come up with an error message. And you get to choose what error message, right? You get to choose what error message comes up. So you have the option to say, hey, you put in the wrong date, put in a year within, or put in a date within the year 2017. So you can choose the message. Watch how I do it. So again, I'm going to choose the date. See, under the word date, I'm going to go all the way down to the very last one like that and select them all, just like we did with the city. So select them all right underneath there, just like we did with the city. I'm going to go over here to validation again. This time we're going to choose date, not list, date. You see the word date? It's in there, not list, date. Then you could say between, okay? Not between, equals to. So you have like some, range, right? Range, right? When you're choosing a date, there's a range to it. This to that. So we could say not between, not between something, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So like common Boolean kind of functions, right? I think they would call them Boolean kind of things, right? Yes, no, maybe so, I don't know. Okay, so again, we want to do date. So we're going to do everything between January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017. So that would be any day within 2017, right? So you can come over here and you can say, I'm going to go, oh, I don't need to do that. You can actually just type it in, I think, can't you? I don't know if this works. 01/01 2017 to 12/31 2017. I don't know. Try it. Let's put it in like that. Then you can have what's called an input message. That's a message that shows up when you roll the mouse over the cell, right? When you put your mouse over the cell, it can have a pop-up message that shows up. So you can have a title to that. Choose date, and then your input message shows input message when cell is selected and when it's selected. In 2017, I don't know. I guess we could put choose date in 2017. I don't know what the difference is between title and message. Well, we'll see. And then here's the alert. So if they put in the wrong date, what do we want it to do? When the user enters an invalid data, show this error alert. Stop. Warning. Information. Stop. The title would be wrong day, wrong year. It would be year, wrong year, because it could be any year. So wrong year. And then the message could be, must be year within 2017, right? Must be date within 2017. What do you guys think? That'd be a good message, right? So again, I got settings for the days between these dates. Input is choose a date. And then if they choose the wrong one, what is it going to tell them? Okay, so let's try it. Right now, you'll notice I have the cell selected. Every time I select a cell, look, the pop-up message, choose a date in 2017. Do you see that? But what if I come over here and I type in 03/13/2016 and I hit tab or whatever? Boom! I'm going to get my message. It says wrong year. Must be date within, oh, that's not very good English there. I guess we could have wrote that a little better. But you get the idea, right? You get to try it. See, it says retry and so on. So see if you can do that. I'll pause my, do something different. No, yeah, you can, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so that was the pull down menu. Let's look at some other validation options. Okay, there's other ones. We just did date. That's pretty simple. But there's all kinds of different ways of validating.
Sometimes Sometimes you want to control the data other people enter. That's when you need data validation. Select the cells you want to limit, then Data, Data Validation. There are several controls. You can make sure just numbers are added, or a particular text length, like for a phone number. For this example, we'll select Time. We'll choose between the times we are open, a start time of 8 o'clock a.m. and an end time of 5 o'clock p.m. On the Input Message tab, you can customize a message that people will see. You can also customize the error message, but we'll just use the default. Select OK. When one of the cells is selected, everyone will see the input message reminder. Times can be inputted, but when a time is outside the range, it is not allowed.
Okay, so let's try the time one, and let's use the default message so we don't have to do that. I'm gonna see what the default message is, right? Because there is a default message. We didn't see that yet. So let's try the time one. So next one, let's do oosh. Let's just delete that. How about that? Okay, let's do next one, time. So again, I'm going to select all the cells between below, you know, where the people are, all the cells in there. And then we're going to go back to the validation. This time, let's try time. So again, it's under data, validation here, and let's try time. And then very common, of course, especially if you're setting up an Excel file for your business, right? You might have appointments where people come at specific times. So that might be good to have some validation so that they only put in, like she was saying, between 8 and 5, right? So again, start time would be 8. How did she do it? Was there a comma or was it just A? It looked like she just put A. She didn't put AM even in there. She just put an A in there. I don't really, yeah, I guess you could probably put in, you know, I don't know. Why don't you try it and let me know? And then she did 5P like that. I don't know. That's what she did. I don't know why. Maybe it knows it's short like that. In the video, she just used A and P, not PM and AM. And then in the video, she just put it in, uh-oh. I guess that's not right. Maybe I have to put the M in there. I don't know. I didn't see her put that in there. Let's try PM. Let's see. No. I guess that's not a valid time. I guess we have to put the colon 00. Let's try that. Colon 00. No. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And then the message was, this would be appointment time. And, appointment. Appointment time. And then what is the message? Only between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And let's leave the default error message. I'm not going to change the error message. I'm going to leave the default so we can see what it is. So again, another validation could be time. And if we hit OK, it'll give us our appointment time. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So then if I click in there and I put a different time in, how about we put in 7:45 a.m. Oh, here it is. Here's the default one. Alert. This value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell. Whoosh. That's not very good. It doesn't tell me what I need to do. That's why you might want to be able to, you know, customize that, right? This doesn't tell anybody anything, right? I would put a warning message there that says, hey, you must put in something between 8 a.m. and 2, you know. So this is where the custom message would be probably important, right? Okay, let's move on. You guys got that idea? That's a pretty simple idea. Time, date, pull down menu, and so on. Very common when we're doing that. So see if you can get that to work. Let's go back. The title can be anything. Mine says appointment time only between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Yes? Oh, even if I put in, let me try one. So 5, oh, no, 5 is not. 3:33 p.m. Mine works. Let me think.
Go back so I can see the input message.
The input message can be anything you want. Hold on. Mine says, oh, this is the date. You want to see the one for the time?
Between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Yes, only between 8 a.m. Only is the word. Only between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Okay. Little things happen on computers. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so let's look at a couple more examples that they have here. Move, copy, cell content. Where was I at? Cells. Let me see. Was this a good one? Moving cells by dragging and dropping, selecting cells. Moving cells by cutting and pasting. Copy cells in your worksheet by using copy paste command. You could probably figure that one out. Resizing cell content. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, so let's just try that one for a moment just so that you get an idea. Okay, so this is a common problem that you're gonna run into. That sound like Ratatouille's music soundtrack, right? You guys remember Ratatouille? Yes. It sounded like Ratatouille did. Okay, so let's talk. Let's do this one. This one sounds interesting again. Here's a common problem that you're gonna run into: is if your cells are too small. Oops, that didn't work because it's a pull down menu. How about cells too small here? No, that didn't work either. I don't know. Sometimes when your cell is too small for the data, there it is. It turns into these hash marks, right? See them right there? Let me zoom in so you can see it. No, I can't zoom. Why can't I zoom? There we go. There we go. So you might get these hash marks. You're like, what is that? I know there's data in there. What is that? Well, the problem is the cell is too small for the data. So they do have the ability to set the cell size. What happened to my, oh, there it is. It's there. So we can set the cell size to specific sizes. And so I'm going to select the last two here, the last two rows here like this. And they went into set the cell size underneath layout, I believe. Where was it? There's a width right here. It says automatic. Let's see, formula. Where did they show that? Oops.
Enter all those hash marks deliberately.
No, I made the column smaller so that it showed them. See that? It's an example for you. See how they're like that? So what we're trying to do is learn how to make the cell or the cells a specific size. And I can't remember what they clicked on in the video. Where, let's see, where did they click on to do that? Select format. What is this format under though? It's under home. Home. Format table cell right here. Yeah, it's under home. Home. Format table. No.
No, just click on like the C and the D. Right click it, and then select column width. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I'm trying to set it. Oh, there it is. So it's 6.67. I guess it's in characters. What do you think that is? Characters? What do you think the measurement is?
Yeah, I'm not sure because they're actually different. Like if you enter a column width and a row height, the same value, it won't give you a square. So I don't know what it does.
Okay, they did 18. Let's do 15. See what that is. Yeah, that's common like that. That looks like a good size. So where was it? I right-clicked on there, but I think it's right here. Oh, here it is. It's under format right there. You have row height, auto fit row height, column width. This is the one. Again, it's under format. So home, format, column width, and then you can put in a number 15. And I don't know. I'm assuming it's character width.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
I'm a,
one unit is equal to the width of one character.
Yeah, so that would be, you can make a judgment of, how long do you think the data is going to be there and just kind of put it in, a little bit bigger. Yeah, whatever. So as long as because if you put in too much data, you're going to get your little hashtags going across, right? Yeah, so that's okay. So that was pretty good. And then the other thing they were showing was.
But I have to make the row small, right?
Mhm. Small first? No, it should be set. You don't have to necessarily make it small first.
So I go to format.
Again, select the two columns you want. Go to home, format, right here, and then it's column width. Column width. I put in 15. That looks like a nice width. It's pretty big. Probably don't need to be that big for time, right? Because time is not going to be 15 characters across. Okay, let's try another one and then we'll take a break. How about we do one more and then we'll take a break? Okay, let's do one more. So that was column width. They have a find and replace, numbers on a worksheet, text and a number. You probably know what find and replace is already. If you don't, just like we did in Microsoft Word, did we do find and replace? I don't even remember if we did. We did spell check though, don't you remember? I don't know if we did. I used find and replace a lot in web stuff. In the old days when I was doing a bunch of websites and we had to do all the web stuff by hand. Well, nowadays I do it all in WordPress, but in the old days when I was doing all the hand coding, I had to go and change things a lot, and I used find and replace a lot for that because, finding code and replacing it with new code is hard unless you use find and replace. So here we go. This is not a video, but they have some on the home tab, there's editing, find, and select. Find. So I find it easiest to select the word that you want first and then go, because if you have multiple. Now we only have one word in here, so I don't think this is really going to help us too much, but we should know where it's at. Again, it's under here. If you click on a word, let's say people. Let's say we had another Bill Gates over here. We just type in Bill Gates over here. All right, I'm just going to do an example here. We got Bill Gates there. We got Bill Gates there. If you go to where it says edit, where's find and replace? Where's find and replace? Didn't I say it was under edit? Oh, here it is. Find. So you'll notice it says find here. Do you see that? Find next, 5 previous, replace, go to. So notice how I have Bill Gates already selected in the cell. If I go find, I can find what? I thought it would put Bill Gates in there already. But if we put in Bill Gates, and within which sheet, by which row, look in formulas, match, case sensitive row, find next. And I guess it's finding the 2 that we have. And then we could say we don't want Bill Gates. We can replace it with what? Let's put a new name in there. Let's put in who? Melinda. Melinda? No. L-I-N-D-A. Melinda. What's that? M-A-L-I-N-D-A. Gates. And then we could say replace all, and 2 replacements are made, and that's it. We can close. So right now it says Melinda Gates there and it says Melinda Gates there. So there is a find and replace. Just keep in mind it might be useful for you. Any word. Like let's say we don't want Robert Kahn in there. We want to put Vincent Cerf in there. You don't even have to have anything selected. Just go under Edit, Find right there. We want to find Robert Kahn, so we can type in Robert. Gotta spell it right. Robert Kahn, K-A-H-N, and then we can replace that with Vincent Cerf. Vincent, V-I-N, Vincent. Vincent Cerf, C-I-R-F. Surf, something like that. C-R-I-F. What was it? Surf? Oh. Vincent Cerf, I don't know how to spell his name. We're just going to go with that. I think that's it. C-E-R-F, I think it is. So you could say replace or replace all, and boom, it replaced him. Boom, there's no more Robert Kahn there. Now it was Vincent Cerf. Okay, so that could be very useful, especially if you had multiple instances of it in multiple sheets as well, because then you don't have to open up each sheet and try and find it, right? Because it will find and replace in all the sheets. Okay, let's take a break, short break, have a lunch and go to a meeting. Okay, so I found some of these to be quite interesting, and so let's try some of them.
What was the next part of this assignment again, sir?
We haven't done anything since we did the find and replace. That's the last thing we did.
Find and replace?
Yes. Remember I found Bill Gates' name and I replaced it with Melinda Gates? Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
It's under Edit, Find, and Replace. So you can put in one word under Find, and then under Replace, you can replace it with a different word. It's under Edit, Find, and it's quite straightforward. You put in the word you want to find, and then you can replace it with the box that says Replace down below.
Where's Edit at?
Edit is a menu item at the very top. Right? The top menu. These are menu items up here. Edit. This one up here. Edit. Go under Find. Yeah. Put in a word that's in your document under Find, and then replace it with a word there. Okay, let's follow the this one. Let's just watch the video first. So we can select a whole row of information. And you can drag it to a new location. Instead of doing that, you can also cut and paste. Cut is Command X. Or cut is a pull-down menu. One of the strange things about that is that it doesn't remove it right away, so it's kind of confusing. So let's try this again, dragging some rows, cutting and pasting. So let me explain what I mean by that. Is that, okay, let's take the last row here, this last row. Okay, if I select this last row of Vincent Cerf in San Francisco, if I select again, I use the shift key, right? I click on one, hold the shift key down, click on another one, select the entire thing, and if I want to move it, I can hold my left mouse down and, nope, that didn't work. How did they move that? How did he move that? Let me watch the video again. I saw the moving. How did they move? Move a cell. By dragging and dropping. Select it. They selected it, yes. Select the cells. Point to the selection border. We gotta select, you gotta click on the selection border. Oh, there you go, with the hand? Or no, this one? Yeah, the hand. You gotta get the hand in there. Now you can move it where you want. See if you can do that. Again, select it and put your cursor on the hand. See if you can find the hand. It's a glove. I guess it looks like a glove and not a hand. Huh? It's Michael Jackson's glove, right? Michael Jackson glove.
So when we go to the hand already, then what should we do?
Then just move. See if you can move it. It's just practicing moving. Okay. Okay, let's talk about cutting and pasting. So, you know, it's kind of crazy that, you know, the problem with the cutting is that it doesn't disappear. Usually when I cut and paste in another program, when you use the cut command, it disappears. Like if you're in Microsoft Word, you cut something, it disappears, and you paste it somewhere else, it shows up. Here it's kind of weird. So I have these two cells selected. You notice them. To cut is Command X. Notice how it puts marching X. Command is the command key on the keyboard. X is there. Or you can come over under here and use the, where's the cut up here? Under home. Oh, the scissors. They have a little scissors up there. Scissors. See it right there? So either that or Command X. X. Then let's choose another cell down below here, and then paste is Command V. Notice how it removed it from the one spot and put it in the other spot. Do you see that? Which is different than, you know, like I just said, in Microsoft Word. And let me open up Word for just a moment. If I'm typing along, and if I want to cut something, I highlight the row, and if I hit Command X, see how it went away? Right? In Word, in Excel, it didn't go away. Right? And then it only went away, and then paste. See that? But if you're doing it in Excel, that was confusing to me. If I highlight two rows and I cut, and remember Command X, notice it didn't go away. Right? It didn't go away. But if I click down here and I paste Command V, it goes away after you do the paste. So it might be confusing. It was confusing for me at first. You know, so yes.
It's Command V, but if the other one with Shift V, if my keyboard at home is not Apple.
Oh, use Control. Windows, the Command key is the Control key on Windows, right? The Command key is Control key on Windows. Okay, let's do a couple more. We're running out of time here. That was dragging and dropping cells. Resize, we already did that. Find and replace, we already did that. We're doing charts next class. We don't have to do that now. Formatting, this was just a different way. We can talk about it. It's not necessarily that important, but let's talk about formatting. Remember in Excel, you have all these different ways of formatting, and they're all underneath under Home where it says General here. You notice you have General, Number, Currency, Accounting, Short Date, Long Date, Time, Percent, Fraction, Scientific, and Text. Woo! Each one of those is a different option inside of Excel. So we already looked at some of them already. We looked at date, numbers. Why do we want to put these in? Well, it helps Excel calculate what kind of formula you're using, right? If you're using an accounting formula or something like that, or a percentage and so on. General is just general, as it says, but numbers would have to be numbers. If I try and change Melinda Gates to numbers, it doesn't know, why might have letters in here? It gets all confused. You can't really, yeah, I guess you can put letters in there. I don't know. It's not changing it. But then you got currency, you got accounting, you got short date, which is less than 256 or 255 or less. Short date? Oh no, that's short. I thought that was number. Like it's date, long date. I don't know what the difference is between there. Time, percentage, fraction, scientific, and so on. So that's what they're talking about in this video here. It's under home. Like the numbers over here should be currency. And it puts a dollar sign in there. Then you can format it differently. That's all. So that was, again, if you were doing numbers, you could put in, money. And so we could have 700, 800, 900. And right now they're all under generic, right? All under generic. But if I go and I put it underneath currency, it's going to give me my dollar sign right here. Or you can put it under accounting, which would put the dollar sign over on the other side. So see if you can change it. Put some numbers in and then just change it to accounting or currency here. I just put in money and I put in some random numbers and I put them in there. Okay, so that's all. That's all. That was just showing you the different options in there. That was just either accounting or currency. That's all I changed it to. You can get the idea of time. Percent is percent, fraction, scientific, text. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's try another one. Rotate text. Look at that. You can rotate text. I didn't know that. Rotate. Align or rotate text in a cell. I don't know. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what the video shows. Oh, you're just changing the alignment. Center align. Control A selects all, or Command A. That's all. They're just showing you how to do that. Zeros, delete a custom number. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about hiding and showing cells. So a lot of times when you're working in Excel, you have a lot of information, right? There's going to be lots of cells that go across, lots of rows that go down. So you can actually hide a row Like, let's say the city's not important in this case, right? I got people, I got date, I got time, and I got money, whatever. And I just want to hide. I don't want to delete the information. I just want to hide it. To do that, I can right-click on the row, and you'll notice it says hide. So I'm right-clicking on a column. I'm sorry. I'm right-clicking on B at the very top up here, and I could say hide, and it goes away. Notice how it goes A, C, D, right? The B it's not gone. It's just hidden. How do I know it's still there? Well, you'll notice that there's a little line between the A and the B. See how it's kind of green up there now? Even if I clicked away, if you look there, there's a little green in between right now between A and C. And it says, hey, and of course you already know that there should be a B in there somewhere, right? Because the alphabet doesn't go A, C, okay? So how do I bring it back? Well, you can drag it back. Notice how I just clicked up there and dragged it out, right? You can drag it bigger. Right? Or you can click on it and say hide and it can go away. Or you can right click on it up there and say unhide and it'll show up again. So either dragging or right clicking and saying unhide is a great way to go.
So we have to drag it back. That's the only way to make it appear.
No, you can right click and say unhide. Hide. Right click, unhide. Okay? Let's talk about locking. Wouldn't it be great if you could build an Excel file and then have people not be able to mess with it? Like, we don't want them to change the, remember on the second sheet we had cities, right? We don't want them to alter the cities. The cities are set. So we don't want somebody who's messing with this Excel file to mess with the cities. So what we can do is we can either lock a column or row, or we can lock the entire sheet if you want, right? We can lock that, and nobody can mess with that entire sheet. So, you know, again, the word locking means that they can't mess with it. It's either, you can actually even make it password protected where they can do it if they type in a specific password as well. Because, you know, maybe you're working with somebody or sharing it with somebody and you want to be able to have them alter something but not somebody else. You know what I mean by password, right? Okay, so let's just say we select the entire column right there. I'm going to, look, I went to cities. Remember the sheet called cities? We put in cities, right? So I went to the one that says cities right here, and I go over here to the column. And under format, there is where you can say lock cell, I believe, lock cell. Lock cell? Lock cell. I think it's at towards the bottom. The same area where we set the width. Do you see that? Protect sheet. That I think you can do the entire sheet. I don't know. Can we do just a cell? I don't know if that works or not. Lock cell. I don't know. I don't know if that works. I can do a whole sheet. Protect sheet. Yeah, I don't know if you can do individual. I'm sure you can. I'm just not doing it right. Select lock cell. Select unlock cells. I went to a whole sheet. Let me try that again. So maybe, I don't know, I'm struggling with just a row here. Let's just try and do the whole sheet. See where it says protect sheet under that pull down menu under format, where it says protect sheet. And in there's the password. See that? Where the person has to put in a password. So we could put in Bill Gates as their password if you want. Verify Bill Gates. And allow user of this sheet to select unlock cells, lock cells. I don't know. I guess I can protect the sheet and contents of locked cells. All cells are locked by default but can be formatted as unlocked. Okay. I don't know. We're locking. I'm going to turn these off. I hit OK. Notice there's a little lock down here next to cities. you see the little down there at the bottom where the thing is at the bottom? Do you see where the word cities is? You should have a little lock there. Mine has a little lock. Do you see that? Right here where it says lock. See where it says lock down there? Yeah. Now if you can't even click in there. You can't even click in there. Notice you can't even click if you lock it. You can't even click in there. So a lock cell. So how do I unlock it? How about that? We put in what, Bill Gates to unlock it? I think if you click on the sheet down below there and say unprotect sheet. So down here where the word is, down here where the word is, right down here, see where the word is down here? Where the sheet is down here? There's a little lock there. If you right click on there and say unprotect sheet, oh, right click there, unprotect sheet, it's going to ask you for the password. And what do we put in for password? Bill Gates, B-I-L-L-G-A-T-E-S. Oops, spell it right. B-I-L-L-G-A-T-E-S. And if we hit OK, now we can now alter and change this. Okay, did you see how to lock and unlock a sheet? Okay, so again, you can lock a sheet, protect sheet right here. Make sure it has a password and so on. And then you can unlock it as well. Okay, let's see what else we can do. That was locking and unlocking. That would be more for getting data. Let's do that next class. Okay, let's talk about exporting and the different file formats to end today. Okay, so we have some data. We learned how to lock it. We learned how to do pull down menus and so on. How do I save this and export it for sharing with other people? So of course, a great way to share data, of course, is just to save Excel file. And Google works a lot with Excel files as well, and so on. So I do a lot of marketing stuff, and I do a lot of Google Analytics. And in Google Analytics, you can see lots of data, right? Google's all about data, big data, small data, whatever you want to call it, data, data, data. And a lot of those online data places allow you to save out as Excel. But that's not the only way. Sometimes you're stuck with certain generic formats. And so there's probably one of the most common ones is a CSV, which stands for comma separated values. And it's basically like a Word or a text document with a comma separating the data, hence comma separated value. So to save this let's first save it as an Excel file. So the first thing I'm going to do is go under File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as an XLSX file, right? This is an Excel file. So I'm going to give it a name. You got to remember, you got to turn this in. So make sure it's turned in the Excel file too. So save this and turn this in. So turn this in. This is what? This is pull down, validate, And what else? Put your name. How about that? Okay, so let's save that. Next, we could save it as an Excel file, or not Excel file, I meant next, I'm going to say, instead of Excel, I'm going to save it as a CSV file. So again, if you go under File, Save As, you'll notice here's where it says File Format here. Do you see where it says File Format there, under Save As? If you pull down the menu there, you'll notice there's a whole bunch of different options in there. Look at all these different options. Now, some of them are more useful than others. The ones that I use mostly, like I said, would be the CSV file, which comma separated value. The TXT file, I've used that before, which is basically like the CSV, but it's just a dash or some other text format that's in between the data. And then, of course, there's some other ones that are very useful, which would be the XML, which stands for Extensible Markup Language, right there, XML. And so there's a variety of different XML files nowadays. XML is used by many companies now to share data or even format applications. So XML is a very useful. We'll do a little XML example when we do an RSS feed. We actually do an assignment where you actually save as a feed, and you'll learn what that means. But the one I'm going to choose is the CSV right now, and I guess I'm on a Mac, so I guess I'm not going to use Mac or Windows. I'm going to use the generic one. It says comma separated values right there. And if you go under, nope, I'm going to go under options. CSV right there, and I'm going to save. It says, hey, you know you're saving this as a non-Excel file. Yeah, well, I've already saved the Excel file, right? You might lose some data. It says, of course, the formulas are not saved in a CSV file. It's only for sharing data. It's not for working with. It's for sharing data. It's not gonna have the formulas in it. Let's look at what it looks like. I'm gonna open it up here, not in Excel. I'm gonna open it up in like a generic text document. Where is it? Here it is. And so if I open this up in, let's say, notes or something, is that a program? Oh, I guess that doesn't work. Don't they have like a Word kind of document here somewhere open with text editor? There we go. And you'll notice, look at, there it is. It's, you can see the data that's in there, and it's only on the one worksheet too. You notice the cities aren't showing up there. Again, it's a common format, and all it does is, you'll notice it just has commas in between the data. Look at it. It's just commas, commas, commas. But it does work if you're sharing data, as long as you're importing it. So if I wanted to, and I'll show you this. So what if, say, somebody sent you a CSV file and you need to use it in Excel? So let's say somebody sent that to me, and I can make a new Excel file, and I can import that CSV file. So a common way, if somebody might send you this CSV file, you can go under Insert, and there's one for data. It's been a while. I have to think about what I'm doing here. Audio, movie, shape, text box, smart object. No, not under Insert. Import, File, Import. So if you go under File, Import, and then and notice it says CSV file. See that right there? You got HTML, you got text. Remember the TXT file right here? But there it is, CSV file right there. And if I say import, it's going to ask me which one. I'm going to go to my desktop and find my CSV file that I just saved. If I can find it. I guess it's this one, yes. And say get data. And it should come up with a message that tells me, oh, that didn't work, did it? Let me try again. Oh. How come that didn't work? I've done this before. No? Bummer. It's there. It looks like it would work. I don't know why it's not working. But I've had that work before where I've imported a CSV file. I mean, the option is there to import a CSV file. So
So when I said for the CSV file here, they said that some feature in the workbook may be lost if you set the
yeah, the
format.
formulas won't be in there. The formulas aren't saved, right? Remember when we did formulas and stuff like that? Those things of the pull down menus won't be shown either.
So
Mm-hmm.
what we should, yes or no?
Just say yes for now. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's save as the txt file. Let's try that one. So if I go under File, Save As, we can choose a txt file. And the one I tend to use if I was sharing data would be the tabbed delimiter, the one that says tab delimited text. And instead of putting the comma in, remember in the CSV you put a comma in between the data? This puts a space in there, or a tab, you know, the tab on the keyboard's a space, right? So if I try that one, I know it's going to give you a message. I know it's giving you a message. That's all right. But if you look at that one, let me open that one up in a text editor as well. Where's my text editor? It doesn't have a text editor on this Mac. Oh, here it is, text edit. It looks like this. Notice how it doesn't have the commas, but it just has tabs, basically space between the data. Do you see that? Right? Basically space between the data. Okay, last one, and then we can go home because I'm getting tired. PDF. Remember our famous PDF file. So
What was the last step to do in the thing?
for the, which one? The TXT?
Yeah.
I just saved as the generic TXT file. So under File, Save As, there is one that says Tab Delimited Text. Look for one that says Tab Delimited Text. And I saved that one. Okay, let's talk about PDF. Notice if I go to my pull down menu, there is an option for PDF in there. Do you see that one? It should be kind of towards the top, in the top options up there. PDF. So under File, Save As, PDF right there. Right? And then if we hit Save there, it's going to ask you what? Do you want the workbook, which is the entire, both sheets, right? Because remember, we have one sheet called Cities, right? And another sheet called Pull Down Menu, which you see this one? So you have two of them, right? Do you want all sheets or just this one sheet? You can choose just one sheet if you want. Or you can choose the whole workbook. Basically, it takes the two sheets and puts them on two different pages. Right? You've seen a PDF with page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. It's going to take that and put them on two different pages. And there it goes. It actually made 3 pages. Why did it make 3 pages? Well, it thinks that you were trying to print this out in 8.5 and by 11. And look at the dotted line in there. See how it puts some dotted line in the middle of mine? Do you see that? That's called the print area. So it made me a PDF. But watch what happened. What's the problem with the PDF? Let's look at the PDF for a moment. You'll notice, oh, it didn't. Look, it cut Melinda Gates' name in half. Do you see that? And then it squeezed some of it on the second page, and then the third page has that. So PDF is not that easy to do. The key to doing a PDF is to set the print area first, then save as PDF. What is setting the print area? Setting the print area tells Excel what area do you want to be on one page. Okay? So setting the print area first is the key. So if I go over here to the Excel file again, to set the print area, there's a couple different ways of going about it. It's not that easy, but I'm going to do it anyways. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the area I want to be as the print area. So I'm going to kind of select the top part like that. Do you see that, how I selected the top part? Next, you can then go to print area by going under File, Print Area, Set Print Area. Do you see that? Again, I selected the cells I want to be on a sheet of paper. Do you see that? Select the cells that you want first. Then go to where it says File, Print Area. Then you go to where it says Sent Print Area. And it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. Because Excel doesn't understand that, hey, I can shrink this down to fit in there, or I cannot shrink it down to fit in there. It's not going to do that all the time for you. Okay, so the only way I've gotten around some of these issues with doing that is by sometimes changing the print setup. In the print setup, I might go to landscape. By going to landscape now, I'm taking and kind of rotating the paper around so it's more of a horizontal instead of vertical. By doing that as well, I can then say okay, and if I go now and save as a PDF file, where was it? Oh, save as PDF. Where was PDF? File, save as, and if I save as PDF now, and let's look at that one, it will now all fit on one page. Of course, it's rotated a little bit, but that's one way I've gotten around it cutting off certain stuff. There's also a way to shrink it down. I'll have to think about that, where it actually, you can force it. But the way I got around it, having issues with cutting the print option off, is by using the rotate, which is under print options, right? Well, where was that again? That was under File, Page Setup, and I chose Landscape instead of Portrait. That's, you should know that. That's the simple print thing, right? Okay, so I guess that's all. Make sure you turn in your Excel file. There should be an assignment sheet inside of Canvas. Turn that in, and then you can go home. It's called Validation and Pull Down Menu, right? The Excel file. No, Excel file. XSLX. Right? The normal Excel file. Turn that one in.